Connolly, you're back for your reunion after 50 years. Where'd you go to?
Ich bin in Deutschland, in Nurnberg. Ich wurde Anästhesist und später dann mal Psychoanalytiker.
What's that in Irish now?
I went off to Germany and I ended up in Nuremberg. I married a German girl called Monika. She's a doctor too. And we both had a general practice, and every morning I did an anesthetics list. After a while I got more interested in psychoanalyst, and I had myself psychoanalyzed, which was very important.
And were you surprised at what you found?
I beg your pardon?
Were you surprised at what you found about yourself?
Oh, you can keep on for the rest of your life discovering things.
Okay, yeah.
There was plenty to be discovered.
Where did you start out? Where were you born?
I was born in Galway.
In Galway?
In Claddagh.
Yeah.
My grandfather was from Claddagh, Tommy Connolly, the skipper. He built Claddagh. He knocked it down actually with a dredger.
Did he? Yeah.
And he built all those houses, but they were very damp. And his own children got tuberculosis in the house.
And where'd you go to national school then?
I went to national school initially down at the old St. Patrick's School, the Bish, with Cyril Mahoney, the actor, and Mr. Carroll. It was a funny place to be. You had to get the turf down the cellar, but before you got the turf, you had to kill the rats. And kill the mice. And if you wanted to keep the teacher away from you, you brought the dead rat up and put him in the fire. I almost thought Cyril Mahoney was reading love letters because he was always reading, but in actual fact he was reading his roles for the Taibhar.
Okay,
he was with Siobhan McKenna in the Taibhar at the time.
Okay. And where'd you go to secondary school then?
I ended up in St. Mary's, and Mick Milet is here today. He says I used to get the chocolate for him. I'd climb over the wall because I was a day-by. I was a rook. I wasn't a boarder, and I was allowed to get in and out. But they threw me out of that school, and I went plastering for 9 months, and then I got back into the Bish for 2 months and finished fourth year, and then I got a leaving certificate in the Bish, a very meagre one really. And then I went with Michael D. Higgins. I got him to go to college with me. He was working down the ESB, and we both went doing arts, but I found I couldn't do that. After about 6 weeks, I went into the office there. Mr. Paddy Liver or whoever was there.
McDermott.
Well, McDermott. Mr. McDermott. But they let me change to medicine, which was most unusual at the time because gradually we were bringing in grades. You had to have very good grades to get in. But I never looked back after that. I enjoyed my life in medicine. It was very interesting.
And how did you enjoy the university?
I never spent much time there, really.
Who did you hang around? Who did you hang around with in college at the time?
In college?
In Galway, yeah.
Well, I was a Galway lad, so...
Like Mick Kennedy and all that.
Well, I used to go occasionally with men, but I never really got much involved with college activities, unfortunately. I did the rowing. I used to row a lot. That was good. I liked that. But I had my own clique. I was always working. I had to work to pay for my family at home because we were 14 kids and most of us were starving. And outside of college, I had to work.
Okay. So you're back on holidays here now, or are you living here? Are you in 2019?
75 now, and about 2 years ago I got my first episode of what they call a TEA, transitory ischemia. Transitory ischemia, and I lost my memory. And it happened to me in the last few days, and began to get old very fast.
So with this, we're in the waiting room, are we?
We're on the way here.
It's amazing. Yeah, well, it shows you. Some of you probably well used to immigration, but there was a guy I was involved in. I think about 2 years ago, and it was a fellow from Galway who is restoring the Canadian Parliament. And anyone that has been at the Canadian Parliament, it's a huge building, and they've been restoring it. I was in Canada 15 years ago. They were restoring it at that stage, and they're still at it. And the main contractor is a guy from Galway, and he came to do a talk on the walls that were here. And so it was him that was telling me. So basically, the walls are just like two outer structures, keyed together a little bit, but they move. There's actually rubble in the middle of them. So the idea was if they were hit by cannon and stuff, that they did move a little. And so then when people go to restore them later on and they put cement in them and they become rigid, then obviously that takes away. Then if they ever get any kind of thing, they start to fall apart. But it was amazing that guy with his little knowledge in Canada had gone on and studied engineering to specialise in stone. That's amazing. With their kid Addy over there, have enough fishery out there. What you're expecting, like 10 years to Kings Island for student accommodation long term. So that was their plan, which I found amazing that she was able to say that now. Galway traded out to sea, but it also traded inland. For the records that the Normans kept in the 12th, the 13th, and the 14th, 1500s, they recorded their foreign trade as foreign trade, whether it was coming from Brittany or whether it was coming from Moycullen. Okay, to them at that time that was foreign trade. So a lot of the trade was coming down the Corb and was docketed in here on the freshwater dock.
That's all, I can swim.
I suppose Galway really.
Last time when he was worried about me.
We can't really see it today, but we can see some of the waterways. But a lot of these buildings and all of these buildings here have water, either little tributary rivers underneath man-made culverted river streams or man-made mill streams. So they have all these different things, and then you obviously have a transportation canal. As the water then starts to come down, you start to get through the channel here. Again, any that live anywhere in the British Isles, Galway, like nearly all fisheries in the British Isles, are several fisheries. So the banks, and even though you live on the banks of the river, you have no right to fish in them. They were university. It's a little bit more, I suppose, ceremonial now with the Isle of Maxima and some of the little museums. The campus over the last 20 years has turned away from the city in terms of orientation. So the orientation of the campus is orientation up along the river now. Yeah. So rather than facing the city, so it goes on and on and on and on. Yeah. But you feel, again, at the moment there are about 19,000 students, but by 2022 they want to have, I think, 22,000 students, and they want to have 1 in 5 of all their students non-EU. So again, take that as what you want. I'm not going to take any. So again,
about the non-EU, you mean the British?
Be nice now, be nice to. So we're going to go down again. You obviously all know the cathedral opened in the 1960s and started built in the late 50s. So again, I won't go too much into that. But
I was asked to say a word if you didn't come there. One word I would like to say is like something has really brought it to preeminence.
Why not?
So, really quickly, obviously people are in the middle, lots of school kids here eating their lunch or whatever in the middle of the day. This is the first set of walls that were built in Galway. So right back to where I was saying, Normans came, they built about 14 towns across the West Ireland. I'm not exactly sure. Between 12 and 14. Galway was one of the smallest. So even in an Irish context, Galway was a very small medieval city. It was never really planned to be that successful, but it became quite a thriving trading city, and the reason for that was it was fairly easy to defend. Again, some of the things they built in, but some of them were maybe a little bit of luck. So it's defended by the lake on one side, it's defended by the sea on the other side, it's defended by a fairly fast-flowing river on this side, so you could only be attacked by a land army on one side in Galway. And it's also built on a ridge, both sloping off down to the sides and sloping off down to the back. So you had a great view of people. Where we came into you today, I went at the Galmont. If you go back to the Galmont today, head out to the terraces, you can see it's sloping out one side of the Galmont and sloping down the other side. So armies in Galway, land armies, had to come up over a hill, and then they had to face into the walls, but they had the green area out the side. So it wasn't a very attractive place to try and attack. Again, contrast that with Athenry. Inside the medieval walls of Athenry is 2.5 times the size of Galway. So the town of Athenry is 2.5 times the size of medieval Galway. Athenry today has a population of what, 12 or 1,400, probably more, and Galway is heading for 100,000.
In your year, 66, 67, there were 105 members of staff. Today, there are 850 academics, and there are nearly 1,800 administrators. Wow. In my time in the university, there were 3 administrators, 3 women in most of your times. Drink was a very attractive proposition if you had the money, of course, and that was confined almost exclusively to headgear, wear cap. And that she was the first woman ever to refuse to wear anything on her head, and they all started operating the same. So, for most of the people here, Captain, you weren't allowed to wear trousers into college until Rag Week, 1968. opposite the Archway in 1967. We were leading in the final against, what were their names? Peter Folan and she was Griffin anyway. We were leading in the final section. Margaret McLaughlin, and Margaret really threw it all away. I've never forgiven her. And I remember saying to her, "You'll never get an exam in this institution." Which you couldn't get away with today, I said. Anyway, myself and Margaret Brearley are still playing tennis.
He was talking about all the commerce that came down the river into Galway. And I'm going to refer back to one small incident that happened about 1840 or thereabouts. There was a boat coming down from Annadown, which is way out the Connolly, bringing cattle down to a fair in Galway. And there's a poem written about it by a man called Raftery. Anachcool.
Yeah, no, that's where they come in.
Mom she's launched his father best tractor and there's the ball one on that cool. She must Mara got
Not posh.
Lennon no posh. Nor Mom she's launched his father best tractor and there's the ball one on that cool. She must Mara not. Tasha
Culture.
Tasha Emia Marie.
You know Tommy, yeah?
Huh?
You know that song?
I can't pick it up.
Is not it the tourish way of you? Shame on him, my Gilman. Shame on Chester Gilman. Is tourish way, my Gilman. I'm not ready.
Cinnamon, welcome.
My part, he also wrote Clonakillia, I think. Yeah. Clonakillia, where all the old guys are talking to each other in the grave, dead. But where I live in the nursing home, I call it the prequel to Clonakillia. So you'll see my movie soon. Palm door. John, it's into Galway, Galway or something.
Well done.
But it's a lovely invitation.
What's the translation, roughly? Translation, roughly.
Don't you know, Mary, where you go this year with your child in the face of all the spite and meanness in the world, and please accept an invitation from me from the West, where there'll be candles lit and fires in the hearths.
Yeah, that's good, yeah.
Tommy Connolly's place. And all together. Yeah, give me a German. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Weiß ja wie gut ich hier bin. Mein Widerstand kann
Bradford Gorham and you might remember. Well, I'm the smallest one. You got to look for. Father Tom Kine.
That's graduate.
There's only about 25 or 26 people. Johnny Kennedy. Yeah. Anyhow.